Alright, Trey, man, what's up? How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good.
That's what's up, man. So, just getting started, let's just get into your background exactly and where you from.
All right, I'm actually from Fort Worth, Texas. If people don't know what Fort Worth, Texas is, it's right outside of Dallas. Some people call it the funk or funky town. Exactly. I was born and raised there. Really, I just love the environment for where Fort Worth right now is actually growing as an entrepreneur lane, but also in the music lane too as well. So y'all need to tap into Fort Worth as well.
No, definitely. So, Fort Worth versus Houston, because you be down in Houston too. So, which one would you say you like better?
I gotta ride with my city, but I like Houston too as well because of the lifestyle of the hustle mindset here too as well. Fort Worth is just still trying to get there. I believe we about to get there, but at the same time, I feel like Houston is a place to where like you can actually grow. Get your marketing out, get yourself out there more. So I tap in with Houston a lot.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. As far as the violence is that, because you actually see a lot going on, especially after Mo3, these other rappers.
Yeah.
How is the violence? Is it still kind of crazy?
It definitely is, especially out in Dallas right now, just because it's everything dealing with the with the Mo3 shooting and things like that, and you got different alliance with other rappers and other artists. It's kind of like a feud right now, but at the same time, you got people that's out here that's trying to bring that positivity into it. So it's kind of dying down, but it's still a place to where like you still gotta watch, who you're around, where you at, things like that. So I say definitely like compared to Houston and Dallas right now, Dallas crime rate done went up, compared to Houston, just because of that death.
Gotcha. So as far as the business ventures exactly, let's talk about that.
Man, we can start with credit. I first started off as just like the credit man. As when I first tapped into this business lane, all I knew was like, okay, I want to work for myself, or I want to help change lives in certain ways. So I started with credit repair back in 2018, and I only made like $500 in my first year just doing credit repair, just because I was new to it. People wasn't really, educated on how like to actually fix their credit. So as more I got, more engaged, more knowledgeable, my business grew over each year. I'm actually growing my business, I'm growing my income, and to where now I actually partnered with my friend Bobby Gillen. We got our own top off taxes business too as well, to where we help people educate them on their taxes, how to get their max refund back, also offer, the credit repair, basically like a one-stop shop financial literacy office. And then, also tapped in with the investments and day trading and things like that. So I just got one more thing I'm working on, and that's actually real estate wholesaling. That's gonna be my biggest thing that I'm gonna probably like have as a project, and probably just gonna be my main, source of income. But I'm still tapped in every single lane as an entrepreneur. I'm always trying to build my future for my kids and things like that. So if y'all out there watching, definitely you want to have multiple streams of income, just because you can't live off of one stream of income right now. You got to at least have multiple, just because we're in a pandemic right now, but also you got to think about it like, these jobs are laying off people, these jobs not getting, the amount of pay raises just because we're in a pandemic. But you want to stick to, multiple streams of income just so you can secure your future.
So talking about real estate wholesaling, so I actually looked into that myself.
Mm-hmm.
So getting into that, have you started, as far as finding houses, or are you just getting into the basics of learning?
I started. I'm really right now. I'm just looking into finding my buyers and my sellers right now. I already know how to talk to certain people, how to negotiate. I figure out the really thing you need to do before you start looking at houses is find your buyers and sellers, because once you do find a house, you're gonna have to start calling people and say, hey, I got a seller, I'm trying to buy this house, and this house is worth such and such. You want to make sure you have all your dots and T's crossed, just because if you find that house, you want to flip it real quick, because somebody else can come in right underneath you that same day or that same week and take it. So you could be losing out on money right then and there. But it's really not hard. You just gotta educate yourself on land and property, the property value, and the economy, and that's about it.
So finding a house, do you know exactly how to do the groundwork and everything as far as finding the ARV the after repair value, and then just estimating, what you can max, or I guess it's estimating the max amount you can get for the house.
Yeah, definitely what you want to do is when you find that house, you want to actually see what area or location that's in. And then once you find that area, see how much the property value is in that area. Because one thing when I first started is like, you don't want to actually like lowball yourself or mess yourself out some money just because you went for a lower price than what is actually could have been sold for. So say for instance like a house is worth 45K on the market for that house. It can be like a foreclosure home or just a regular house or any type of house. And that person that has that house that you want to actually tap in and buy, see how much they are offering you, and then if the property value is like 150K and things like that, you can take that house and flip it, but make sure you have a buyer ready to buy it for that amount, or you can negotiate with them on that. Because say for instance you do sell it for 150 for what the value is, and it's 45,000, that's 90K almost in profit that you made and just off of one deal.
And see, it's so many ways to make money with real estate. It's ridiculous. And since you mentioned wholesaling, that made me think of tax lien investing. Have you ever, looked into that?
I actually haven't. I want to, just because I got a whole lot of business partners and friends that's killing it right then and there. But I want to say like I feel like if you going toward that lane, you want to make sure how long has that house been on tax lien, or like how much is that property worth, or how much is it behind on payments before you even take that consideration. Because you probably have to take that amount and actually be the one that's that's paying for that tax lien before you even try to flip or anything, because you can be out of money on your end and lose on the back end.
True. So you're a businessman, I see. So are you able to decipher assets from liabilities easily when it comes to purchases? And the reason being is because a lot of people, they think they have assets, and in reality, it's actually just another liability that they're dealing with.
I say it's very easy, but if it can be complicated too. So say for instance, if you're like rushing the process, you can't rush the process, just because if you having different assets or different liabilities, you got to work on one before you work on the other. You can't do all at one time. And I feel like that was my issue. I tried to do everything at one time, and I was overwhelming myself, overloading myself. And what you actually got to do is you actually got to work on one. Say, for instance, okay, I got this asset today I'm going to work on, and then tomorrow I'm going to work on this asset. You want to organize and structure your assets that you're going to work on, because if you don't, you're going to fail, or you're going to lose assets, or you're just going to be at a standstill just because you're trying to do too much at one time. You want to make sure you build that foundation, and then after you build that foundation, you get everything up and running, and you got these assets running, then all you have to do is just watch your assets every day. What's moving, what's doing this, things like that. Just because I seen it, I witnessed it, I was a part of it. So you want to work on one asset at a time, or even build a team. That's one thing that's hard right now. You got people out here that's envied by other people because there's only one person trying to do so much. But then you got your close friends saying, oh, put me on in this, put me on in that. Well, you obviously know your friends, or you might tap in with a stranger and network. You want to build a solid team, because it can make the job more easier too as well.
And speaking about building a solid team, how important is it, as far as relationships, building relationships and just networking?
I feel like it's very important. Everybody say, oh, I got my own business, I did this on my own. But obviously you have to have some type of resource, or resources, or you got to have some type of a team, because I got a couple people that's trying to do everything on their own, and you can't have 24 hours a day to do everything in your business that you're just wanting to do. If you got somebody that's good at marketing, have somebody over there doing the marketing for you. You have somebody over here that likes to actually good in sales and know how to pitch your sales and how to sell your product or your service or your music or anything. You want to have a salesperson, Then if you got yourself, if you do music or you got a business you running yourself, you just in the back just making music, or you putting up a game plan for this week to become more successful, more profitable. You want to build a team around you, because if it's just you by yourself, then how you gonna make so much more of an income each day if you?
It's harder doing it yourself.
Exactly, and you can't focus on, okay, I gotta see how much I made. You gotta see how much I can do this week, or how I'm gonna market this week. You got so much going on, you can't do it by yourself. So take that in consideration. You know, build a solid team and a foundation. I promise you, it's not about the income or the money. If you in for it for the money, you ain't gonna get so far. If you in it just to help yourself, or you in it just to help change lives, you're gonna bring more people around you. You're gonna bring a more audience around you. You're gonna bring a more following around you. So that's key. Is actually having a solid team.